There's a huge protest going on in the UK right now. Lockdown London.
Flight, that's what the people them chanting, you hear them? No chant of flight. Locking down London. You see it? Right outside number 10 Darling Street. Right outside with it. You know? Let Boris Johnson know that he must come out and friggin' bed. And too fucking lie. You understand? These are the things. You see it? Total lockdown, my people. See that? People power. We come here and I'm going to talk on sidewalk. No, we take it to the road. In the middle of the road. That's what it's all about. People power. Right on the road with it. See that? Right on the road with it. I'm going to take it to the people. Take it to the street. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with it. All the time. See that? Mass. No chartered flight. You hear them shout it? No chartered flight. Alright, that's how we are locked down this place here. This is London. Right across the road is where the Prime Minister lives. And we, see there?
He's only round the corner.
He's down the road the corner.
And he can hear us.
Right.
He knows we're here.
And we build this city here.
That's right. And he's got to remember, we've been here from time.
On time.
Before his parents even walked here from Belgium. We've been here.
Yes.
We are true people to this man.
True.
We need respect.
All the time. No chartered flight.
That's right.
Just stop that. You know, boom. See that? Big chanting. Big chanting. Yeah, no chartered flight. No chartered flight. None of that. See? None of that. It's real lockdown London. That's how it is. People's power. Loud and clear. All the time. Galaxy Radio, the only deep brainwashing station. And yes, so we're dead. None but ourselves can heal our kind. So brother Aston, yes, so? Aston and it. No charter flight. Away, I do for we. Work with them.
Alright, so there you have it. Well, quick, let me talk to the people them. So, just like I said, right around the corner from where the Prime Minister lives, the people are out in numbers. Before I talk about that though, let me say this. Could you imagine if that many people came out in numbers right by the street where Andrew Holness live, or on the street where any of these prime ministers live, where govern the place are not doing their job to the fullest of their abilities? Like the people them said, the crime situation is out of control in Jamaica, right? But everybody still show up in numbers when it comes to what? When it comes to, how should I say it now, politics time and politics celebration, right? But when it comes time to actually say, listen, we're not getting any changes, we're not getting anything that you promised and blah, 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 the people them go quiet. Imagine if they actually stood out in numbers like this. This is amazing to actually see this in London. But I just want y'all to know that not everybody is for this. So I don't want the people them feel like, say, people are over there saying, yes, fling them out, them wrong, send them back. I did a video yesterday where me and my wife explained certain things that we agree with and certain things that we don't agree with. As Jamaicans ourselves, there's no possible way that we can see justice in a man who left Jamaica 9, 10, 11 years old, never been back, and you're sending him back to Jamaica at 30 and 40 years old. He was schooled in your school system. All the wrongs he learned and picked up and everything he did out of context was in your lands. So you have to continue to bend that back straight, right? You can't just, oh, he's a problem now, send him back to Jamaica. Like, that's unheard, that's cruel and unusual punishment. Not to mention, there is one youth on that flight that we are really concerned about, for the simple fact that this man was able to provide his marriage certificate. He was able to provide a marriage certificate that is 5 years plus old. Him and the woman been married. They have a child. You know what I'm saying? He got in trouble 10 years ago. And he never got in trouble again after that. And it's that they're deporting him for something that happened 10 years ago. He was 20 years old. He's 30, 31 years old today. And he's on the charter flight for that incident. And all the man I tell them, say like, look, I've changed my ways. I came here really young. I made a mistake. I believe he came to England at 11. Got in trouble at 20. Made a mistake. Got punished. Never did it again or did anything bad again. Out of the way again. Never got caught again. And they're still sending this man home. That man shouldn't be coming back to Jamaica, fam. What good is he going to do to Jamaica? I mean, there are people that are saying, boy, I'm not going like foreign are the best and all this. No, there are people that have built their lives. What good is it to have a man leave the UK, right? He's proven over a decade long that he is not a threat to your society. He's no trouble. Matter of fact, he was too young and dumb, like most of us were when we were extremely young, and he's grown up and he's matured, and he's still young in age, but he's matured enough to take on big man role now, and big man reasoning and understanding now, and now he's about work and family and all that. And so for the offense 10 years ago, you want to come rip him away now and force his woman, his wife, to have to be without her husband. You know what's going to happen there? Long distance relationships like that don't really survive unless the woman decides, say, alright, my husband is in Jamaica, so I'm going to have to go live there. He can't, what's he going to go do in Jamaica? I mean, let's start off, because they've already explained that he doesn't have any living members of his family left in Jamaica. He had one cousin, and the cousin passed away. The cousin was sent back from the UK, and the cousin passed away. And that was his only link to family. He is like dead meat coming in for the vultures. You understand? So why heap up all these problems on Jamaica? The poor little island can't take it. The island cannot take it, the little island. And I'm speaking up on behalf of Jamaica, because our Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, seems like he's not brave enough to even say that. Put some discretion in this thing, man. Like we said before, if you go over the people in place and you left Jamaica recently, this was the argument that we pushed last night between me and my wife. We pushed this argument. We said, if you are in the UK or overseas in another country, Canada, England, wherever, and you've been there longer than the time that you've spent in Jamaica out of your whole life, then you need to stay there when you get into problems. For instance, if you left Jamaica at 10 years old, and at 30 years old, they're trying to deport you. You spent the last 20 years, which is pretty much this brother's case. He spent the last 2 decades in the UK. He's not really Jamaican, except for by birth. He's more British than anything else. So why? And that's what me I talk about. So people on the seat, the people that are not having it, tell me the God honest truth. If you think I'm making sense here, I know a lot of people could say, yeah, well, SouFLo them for no, and I say that too. Listen to me, my people. Don't expect people who looked at you as less than humans not too long ago to today turn around and treat you humanely. They still looking at you as less than human. If the best out of it is they're looking at you as subpar to them. They are superior to you. So don't bother look for these people to treat you like family, right? So in other words, when you go into these other people's land, dot all your I's, cross all your T's. Don't expect no leniency, because they don't have no love for you like that. It's plain and simple. May I leave this one right here so I can watch the protest video and hear what the brother have to say again. They're out in the streets. Is the plane still going to take off? Because the plane is scheduled to land in Jamaica in a few hours. So we'll see. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.